Hello, Internet fans. This is the Buddies Forever vidcast with Rottin Roger DeMarco.
And Evildeadinks.
We thought we would try out a new format and discuss horror things and the like with the interwebs.
It's really just an excuse just to bullshit for a half hour or hour since we have to live states apart at the moment.
This is true. So, the
Smokescreen.
The first thing that we wanted to talk about was the upcoming releases of Shout Factory, which it's a pretty stacked list of stuff that's coming.
They always do. When do they not have a stacked list against us?
I don't know, but it's gonna break the bank this go around. There is one that we missed that we haven't picked up yet that was released October 23rd. The Creepshow Special Edition came out.
Oh,
And
I thought you were gonna say the House on Haunted Hill, because that's another one that apparently has been dropped.
I saw that, but I didn't write that one down. But the Creepshow is loaded to the gills, dude. Have you looked at the special features?
I have not. I tried to avoid it on. It's like, well, that's a rabbit hole that'll go towards me breaking my wallet out, punching numbers into the fucking thing, and boom, 2 days later, there's a package on the doorstep, and I have to explain where another $35 disappeared to out of my account.
It's closer to 40, but
does it have that documentary on it?
It doesn't. It has
all
new. Nope, it has all new special features. So that's how they get you, because then they want you to buy that Just Desserts too. But I don't own it yet, and I will own Just Desserts. But yeah, we missed the release date on that one, so we'll have to pick that one up out in the wild at some point.
We didn't miss it. I knew it was coming, but I'm like, we have to budget. We're not the single guys that we used to be, and believe me, if single, it wouldn't be an option. I wouldn't care what the damn thing cost. It'd be just take all the money, just take my wallet and give me back what you don't need.
Yeah, that's some tax return shit. Just give me all the Shout Factories. Give them now. I think I put this list in order this go around. So
this is phase 2.
Yeah. So November 6th, Sleepwalkers comes out, which that one I'm extremely excited for. I think the cover art.
Oh yeah, that cover art got me. I didn't even look at bonus features. I like cover art. I'm like, good. I'm on it.
It's beautiful, and I bet that the transfer is fantastic. So I'm pretty excited about that one.
I've always liked that one. That one was a rental that I didn't know about, and we just brought it home and threw it on, and
and cop kebabbed it. Yeah.
Yeah. We're cat people anyway, so and it's weird because normally a cat death will just a movie for me. I don't care how good it might be, but that one I let it pass.
Yeah. It's a little different.
I'll get the revenge in the end.
Yeah, it's a little different. The tone is a little different with that one. There's a bunch of cats hanging from trees and shit.
Some weird incesty type stuff with these
that's
people.
That's what bothers Megan about that movie, I think. And it's very strange. And that music that's in La Bamba.
That to me is oddly like Candyman, just in the aspect of once I hear it, it's going to be a good 12 hours before I stop hearing it.
Right, yeah, it's stuck in your head. And it's a very weird, like a sex scene with the cats with that. I mean, it's odd, but
yeah, it's odd, but it's got that weird humor to it as well, like that dark humor that like majority of people are not going to think is funny, but like at least 2 people think that it's funny.
Killing them with the ear of corn is fucking fantastic.
Just think of yourself as lunch.
Brian Krause owns that role, dude. Kills it in that movie. Okay, so November 20th, we got Urban Legends 1 and Final Cut. We have Candyman.
That's
and
the
we
big
have Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. All 3 coming out that day.
Damn.
So that's
4
like,
in one day?
yeah, so that's like, I mean, I can live without Urban Legends Final Cut. It doesn't even look like they gave it special artwork. But Urban Legend, they gave sweet artwork. So I like Urban Legend. I'll probably pick up Urban Legend and Candyman day of.
Oh, Candyman for sure. That's been one that's been awaiting for years to get bonus stuff on it. Anything we could get is just little bits of info here and there.
A couple.
Any good stories? No.
No. Wait. There was one. Damn it.
Get up.
A little nappy nap.
I hope that's like something they sneak in. Is the commentary? Because then they do Adam and Joe and Tony do a commentary for their Yorkie.
They might have when they did that 48-hour marathon.
Yeah, I feel like they did it at least maybe the first year. And I know Shout Factory they put their commentary for Leslie Vernon on the Shout Factory for it.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I don't own that Shout Factory yet. I still own that Bare Bones Blu-ray. Damn it.
See,
Damn it, see? Now I got to buy that one.
That's the turnaround that I got. Is I kept buying shit copy DVDs of it that would always skip at a certain point. So I never got to finish the movie. So I just bought the Shout Factory when it came out. Yeah, one of the bonus features on it was, aside from a very lengthy video diary from the director, which is cool, they have, the commentary track where it's just that episode of Adam and Joe and the director. So he's constantly putting out little things in it like, look at the letter blocks in the background of one of the interviews with Leslie, and you see it, they're scattered, and he says something and they cut back to it, and it spells out murder or kill or something. Just a bunch of little tiny things. He's like, look at this right here. Look at that right there.
Damn it. Yeah, I need to pick that up now.
I'll bring that with me when we come to visit.
You bring that and we'll watch that. And we also have to watch your Nightmares 1, 2, and 3 on VHS.
Oh yes, right? I still have that. I was digging in the crates and found my VHS copies, my original recorded off Cinemax VHS of the first 3 Elm Streets. And I just don't have a VHS player here yet to watch these.
I'm excited to see if there's like Cinemax bumpers, like coming up next is Nightmare on Elm Street 2, where it shows like a little clip or whatever. Because I remember those little...
There's no clips, but I know there is some stuff in between. I want to say between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, but there's a mini preview for Back to the Future and Repulsion.
That's weird.
It was, they were just advertising like the weird movie nights. Like I think Back to the Future was coming out brand new, and they're like, oh yeah, we also have these horror themed nights on Cinemax. And I still kind of remember the bumper pretty well for Back to the Future. Like the one bit of like levity is like, oh yeah, funny movie before I go back to the terror film.
Okay, so November 27th is the Critters box set, which we go back and forth on this. I know you haven't seen 4.
I have all 4, but I've only watched the first 3, and really only between the first 2.
1 and 3 are my shit. So
that is one that I will wait for someone to return about the box set that they don't want, and I will get that secondhand discounted at Bennett stock.
Yeah, it's tough to it's tough to drop that money on, especially 4 movies that you already own that aren't like go-to movies. You know what I mean? Like it's not a franchise that you throw on frequently, so it's hard.
It's like
hard.
it's like that Hellraiser set that only had the first 3 on it. Did you ever get to see that?
I never saw that, but that'd be my bread and butter right there.
And it was mine. I don't remember what company put it out, but it was somebody put it out, and it's a box set of just the first 3. But I think it's at least 4 or 5 discs, so a lot of extra stuff on it. But ultra limited release. The stock had it for a brief time, but it was always like a minimum $90.
Jesus. Yeah, no. Because the one that I watched the most is Hellraiser 3, and I know everybody shits on that one. I think we should do a video sometime where we do.
Everybody else shits on that one.
Yeah.
That's the one we always like watching because it's the most popcorn a Hellraiser movie can get.
That's true. That's exactly why we watch it. But I think we should do a video at some point where we talk about the third installment in franchises that are actually more fun than the originals. Like, you got Leprechaun 3 and fucking Las Vegas, Hellraiser 3.
Hellraiser 3, definitely. Nightmare 3.
Yeah.
For sure. Then you got the oddballs of Halloween 3.
Yeah.
And then you got...
That's a split right down the middle. Fucking people either love that movie or absolutely hate that movie. There's no one who's like, man, Halloween 3 is okay. They're like, fuck that movie. It doesn't even have Michael Myers. Or man, that's a sweet movie. Like, no in between.
That's because the Halloween franchise is a choose-your-own-adventure storyline. You can go...
That's true.
You can go at least 5 different ways with how you want to go with the story. Like, jump ahead to page 72 for...
for 40-year-old Laurie. That's amazing. Someone should release that book. Blumhouse, whoever the fuck owns the rights right now.
Just tie the whole thing together and make it a choose-your-own-adventure.
It's just a big old fat book, like a Stephen King book that you can just...
Yeah, it was at like 800 pages.
Yeah, on page 147, Laurie has a son.
Which I still have. I still have the novelization for the first movie.
Ding.
Get out of here, notifications.
Get the fuck.
I need you.
Yeah, and then I have...
The current.
Yes, picked up.
Fuck off, notifications.
Fuck off, bitch. One for you and one for me. Let's see, what else? So that's it for the November releases, and then we go into December. Early December, we have 3 movies being released on the same day. We have Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, and The Mangler are all released on December 11th. And these are all
movies I could not explain to the missus dropping the money for them because she'd be like, so you spent, what would that be, roughly?
$90.
Yeah, like, so you dropped essentially almost a bill on 4 movies or 3 movies we hardly ever watch.
Yeah, but Garbage Day. Garbage Day, man. I mean...
Hey, I will justify that. You don't even need to buy the first Silent Night, Deadly Night. You can just buy 2 and watch the first one there.
Exactly. You can watch the first one through flashbacks. It's like watching Hills Have Eyes Part 2 through the dog's eyes.
The Mangler. Oh my god.
That's a Toby Hooper killer washing machine.
Killer washing machine.
Laundry folding machine. Whatever you want to call it.
My blood. Your blood. I don't know how they got 3 movies out of that, and they got such, like, horror movie star power.
Yeah, I don't know. The first one's the best. It's the best produced out of the 3.
I think you're stretching the word there.
Yeah, best.
The first one's a washing machine. The second one, that was was that the one that was it was a security system for a school?
And then the third one is like the dude, right? He's got like a...
Yeah, he took like parts of the original machine and he has it
put them
set.
in his
house, and his house is essentially a fucking booby trap for Reggie Bannister.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because we were watching it that one time, and I'm like, what the fuck is Reggie Bannister doing in this? Like,
Hardest working man in horror business, right there.
that's Clint Howard.
No, that's the prettiest man in the horror business.
Oh, that's true. You little turds can't run from the ice cream man.
Butterbrickle.
Jesus. So yeah, and then TCM, The Next Generation, which is trash. But
there's a polarizing film right there.
Yeah.
You don't find too many autographed posters with that on it.
If I ever find that poster in the wild, I will buy that poster. Hang that fucker up right in the bedroom. That's actually my wife's favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is a very strange film out of the universe to claim as a favorite. You know what I mean?
Well, apparently part 3 is not a hugely popular one with a lot of people, but I mean
I don't get that either.
That's our go-to one there.
I watch part 3 all the time. That's another one of a 3. That's the best. It's the best.
Yeah. That's the most quotable lines for us in it.
Leatherface is a beast. He's got a stone cold Steve Austin knee brace. You know, the chainsaw's gigantic.
That's continuity from him getting his leg fucked up in the first one.
Right. I mean, sure, they forget about him getting a chainsaw rammed through his gut in the
second. That transfers to McConaughey's character in the fourth one, so he has to have the VCR remote controlled leg.
Which is the greatest line of dialogue ever in any movie. Boop. If I ever cross paths with him, he is signing that movie. Boop. Like, how do you spell that? I don't know. Just make it up, just like you did when you made the movie. Just make it up.
There's no wrong spelling on that.
Beauuup.
Oh, Sachi.
Faux Sachi.
This boy is dead.
Dead now. No, he's not. He was just talking. He was just talking.
Dead.
So then we jump from those films to January of next year. January 8th, 8mm comes out on Blu-ray finally.
That's a dark one, but man, that is like 7 for me. I can watch either one of those movies oddly about any time.
Yeah, but there's a feeling that I get when I watch 8mm that I'm not comfortable with, and like the older I get, the weirder that movie is to me. But it's not a fun movie for me, so I can understand that like you can throw that on, but I'm like, it's got to be like 11 o'clock at night, raining outside, for me to be like 8mm is about perfect, and then I'm gonna make sure my doors are locked because I'm not trying to get raped.
That's the perfect environment for it, but that's just us getting fucking older that we can't handle shit like we used to. Dude at work asked me about stuff that, is hard to watch. And I'm like, shit, I can't finish Monster Squad anymore. I love Monster Squad, but I can't finish Monster Squad. I'll start freaking crying.
My kids love Monster Squad. That makes...
And they will. And definitely tell them, like, enjoy it while you can. Because if you watch this in like 25 years, you're not going to be able to do it.
Pet Sematary for me. Pet Sematary... But that's a whole different reason. That's not like that's not.
That went from a terrifying film to now that we're in our 30s and with children. Then it's like, ooh, no, I don't want to think about stuff like that. That stuff's too close to home.
Yeah, it's tough, especially since that little blonde kid looks like a little blonde kid who lives here. So I don't want to watch Gage get hit by a semi. I just don't.
that movie's always had it's just had a presence to it,
Yeah.
like like almost like it smells. Yeah.
But the older I get, because I try to watch it like once a year, and I've I've come up with this theory about this movie. The first like hour and like 10 minutes has a completely different tone than the tone once Gage comes back. Once Gage comes back, I know that I'm supposed to be horrified, but the movie gets a little lighter for me. All the lead up with Gage dying, or all the stuff with the maid hanging herself, just the feeling of that movie is so gross and so heavy that once you get past everyone being dead and kind of coming back, then it sort of takes on this life of like any other standard like zombie killer movie. Like it just shifts just enough to where it's like I'm not scared anymore, but I'm supposed to be grossed out. You know, like her fucking eye is dripping, or like Judd gets fucking decimated.
Yeah, any Achilles heel damage is I don't like Achilles heel damage, stuff with the wrists, or yeah, like IV. No, I know. No, 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 no.
You lunkhead.
That'll be curious if for that creep show they actually get him to talk about that role.
He wasn't on the Maximum Overdrive stuff, so you know that
Watch it on Sleepwalkers though.
that'd be hilarious. Yeah, Sleepwalkers. That's one of my favorites. I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, you get the Maximum Overdrive is like pass. Yeah. All his other stuff pass. Sleepwalkers. Oh,
I had fun.
do it.
Yeah, I had fun on that one.
Because what's his role in that one? He was like a photographer, a news photographer. His little cameo. I remember he's in the cemetery after the
He's not the preacher.
attack. That's Pet Cemetery. He's the preacher. I feel he's like a news photographer in Sleepwalkers.
Toby Hooper. Isn't Toby Hooper like a photographer or something in that movie? Someone weird is in it. I know Mick Garris had something to do with the movie, but I feel like I'd have to rewatch it. I know there's a couple of cameos here and there. Like John Landis maybe is in it. Is John Landis in it for a brief second?
I don't feel like he is in it.
If we're wrong, let us know in the comments. Because I can't remember. I need to rewatch it.
I need to rewatch it.
My there's the crack in the facade.
Not the crack. We watch a lot of movies. We can't remember everything all the time.
That's true.
And plus, the camera is on. We're on the spot.
Yep.
I'll forget really dumb shit just out of the blue. Like, that fucking what's that dude's name? Robert Englund, that guy. Yeah.
You will never forget that ever. So then we move to the middle of January. We have January 15th. We got 2 movies coming out. We have the Howling 3 and Saturday the 14th, which is sort of that's kind of a weird double release.
A lot of those are weird. Like, I know that they kind of can get whatever they can get, and they go as far as they can with what they get. But definitely for this winter, it's going to be, those are some oddball choices.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious if anyone is going to be buying those that isn't like us. That's like, that maybe buys it blind.
Right. I don't know.
Oh, what's this all about? And tries it out. I'd love that when I could know that kind of like statistic. That would be rad. Like, so who's buying the marsupials?
Yeah.
Not what you're getting into.
Yeah, and I don't think that randos are gonna buy Saturday the 14th. I mean, that's a very niche, you know, market. Like, you're like a Wacko fan or like a Student Bodies fan or a Scary Movie fan, like the original Scary Movie 1 and 2. Fuck all the other bullshit. But
it's disappointing that when the Naked Gun guys took over Scary Movie, those really went south.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that. But
no, because Naked Gun movies are pure gold.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because we're getting older.
I guess it'd be a different. Like, could you imagine if that was flipped? Could you imagine if, like, after the Naked Gun 33 1/3, the Wayans brothers took over that franchise?
It'd be I'm gonna get you, sucker. It'd be I'm gonna get you, sucker.
No, I want it to be. I'd want
Frank
it to be
Drebin.
The same everything, but I would want the Wayans to have it. So it suddenly becomes very R-rated. You get some very fucking risque humor.
Bunch of people sucking on toes.
Hot sauce.
That's terrible. That still makes me gag, by the way. Every time I watch that movie, it gets to that spot and I'm like, I'm gonna leave for a minute. I'm gonna walk away.
Nah, fool, that's the baby's lunch.
Her fucking toes, man. God.
My toes ain't that bad.
That's gross. That is gross. And then the last thing that I have is January 22nd, and that's that 10 to midnight movie that we were talking about, that Charles Bronson movie.
Charles Bronson doing what Charles Bronson does, go after somebody breaking the law with a big fucking gun.
And I've never seen it, so I don't know anything about it other than what you've told me. So
it has been on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's still on Prime. It's if you stumble across any box sets of Charles Bronson, guaranteed that one's in there. And I really want to say he's chasing down like a serial killer / sex crimes offender guy. And I want to say that movie ends with him like chasing this dude down that's running naked in the street and just guns him down in front of the cops.
That's amazing. Just a cock-flopping naked serial killer.
Yeah. What's more terrifying than that? The only thing worse is if he has running shoes on.
Patrick Bateman?
Yes.
Not the face. Not the face, you fucking piece of bitch trash.
That's your Batman.
Yeah.
That's your Batman.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Those are a lot of shout factories that are going to be tough to pass up if I have the chance.
That's a lot of money, dude.
I remember when they were getting announced initially, we were sending picture messages back and forth, being like, I think they're daring us to buy these movies we're not real huge fans of because they're putting these ultra red editions of them out. We're going to have to get them just to be like, I've got the Mangler.
Yeah. Did you see they actually had to push back the release of that Texas Chainsaw because they had Matthew McConaughey on the cover art. And then, yeah, you know, since they don't want to be associated with that movie, the artist had to redo that cover art. So now it's like there's like a circle behind Leatherface or something. That's just a color. Like it did have, I think, Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. And
they should leave that the same. Just leave it exactly how it is and just put like image not found around like a silhouette. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, even if it's a bad movie, I mean, yeah. Even a bad movie, they should. I mean, you did it. And I was like, you're in a movie, be proud of it. Yeah. Even if it's like, I am not a fucking photogenic camera person, but I'm not gonna be like take down anything that ever has me photographed or filmed in it. I just like, all right, I'll talk about it, but I was like, I don't need to watch it. I lived it, but I don't get the.
I mean, you got paid. It's a job, right? It's a job. So
I wonder how much of that is actually them, or as opposed to like some contract sign. I think there was initially like some contract sign that made the company bury that thing and very limited release it and not promote who was in it.
Yeah, I know there's a documentary, a really short, like a half-hour documentary on the making of TCM4. I think on YouTube maybe. I'll see if I can find it and I'll send it to you. I don't know. I can't remember if they touch on that or not. I watch so many damn documentaries. It's hard for me to keep all that shit straight as well. So.
And I listen to several podcasts while I'm at work about doing movie reviews and now playing podcasts that reviewed that franchise. Of course, they hit about everything, and they always get real in depth with their background when they talk about the movie. So I'll have to re-listen to that one because I know they talked in some detail about how certain contracts would not allow them to promote who was in it because it was released right around the same time Jerry Maguire was coming out, so that's what squashed it. Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, I remember something about that. Like they didn't want to be advertised for being in that shitty TCM movie because they were about to be like fucking Hollywood elite or something.
Yeah, they're about to break big, and you know how no one in Hollywood looks at horror films as art.
Yeah, that's true. Unless, and when they do well, they rebrand them as thrillers. It's a thriller. Bullshit.
Silence of the Lambs is a suspense thriller or crime drama.
Yeah, crime drama. That's one they're really quick to throw out. It's a crime drama. Yeah. There's a serial killer wearing people's skin. Yes.
Seven is not a crime drama. It's a horror film.
It is a horror movie. It's a very well done horror movie.
Yeah, that's high class.
Yeah, it's horror with class, which not a lot of them have it, so they get a bad name. Back off. Those are the only releases I have. So I did not get a chance to get into the coroner's report stuff. So I don't know if you have any.
I have a few of them, and I need to get a notebook to write them down because I was stupid and took the notes on my notepad in my phone. And then once I got done, I was like, all right, I'm ready. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to reference that when I'm using it to do this? So it's like, I need to get a legitimate notebook. But I did take down, of course, the go-to ones. So, God damn you. I don't care what Genius McGee is doing right at the moment or what events he's in. So yeah, the first for the coroner's report. So I'm trying to figure out if you were the coroner, how would you describe what the hell just happened to this guy? And the first one we talked about is, of course, from Nightmare 4. Joey ending up inside a waterbed.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you justify that. That's a very...
Because he would have to crawl into a hole like the size of a golf ball to get inside there. And there's never been a waterbed that was backlit. There's no lights underneath a waterbed. Them fuckers are heavy. And that water's never clear.
No, it's disgusting.
Cleaned, yes. Nothing quite as painstaking as having a waterbed and switching out the water in it.
Yeah, that's a motherfucker. Yeah, when I was a kid, we had a waterbed.
Running a hose from the bed to the fucking bathroom to refill and drain it. No, waterbeds are... they're... I would be like, I don't know how to fill out this report, Bill. Yeah. I don't know how you got in there. Shit, we're going to have to get something really strong to cut them out of there.
Yeah, because they're crazy thick.
And there's not any droplets of water anywhere around that thing. Like, he just in that hole and didn't spill any water going in. Yeah, everything is dry.
That doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense. I mean, most of the time, like pre-Freddy becoming like the MTV icon. Like you die in your sleep, so your body is essentially fine. You're just except for Tina, she's bloody as shit.
Yeah. Some of the stuff I feel they explained well. Like I feel Mark in part 5.
Yeah, all the shit fell on him.
Yeah, that was like, oh, that covers it up perfectly.
Yeah.
But like Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that one doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense either. So someone put him through a fucking wood chipper, No one heard any machines or anything.
Someone secretly installed a wood chipper inside this boy's bed and somehow turned it on and then turned it back off again after he was sucked through it.
Yeah, without the parents. Well, the parents come into the room and the blood's shooting out of the fucking bed up to,
Which those are the best reactions right there. Like both parents discovering Joey and discovering Johnny Depp there were like, ah! That is a very appropriate reaction. If I open the door to somebody's room and just blood shooting out of their bed, I would probably just close that door back.
And then reopen it to make sure.
What's going on in there? Like, and I don't know. I wouldn't go in there until they've had a chance to shampoo the carpets.
I'm leaving. Oh,
I'm moving tonight.
Yeah, I mean you can't justify the amount of blood anyway that comes out of Johnny Depp's bed.
That's an Evil Dead amount of blood.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous. Well, and then she's watching Evil Dead, so earlier in the movie.
Yeah, I love that story, that back and forth of two film directors who never really met each other.
Yeah, just paying homage to each other.
Because that started with in Evil Dead, there's a Hills Have Eyes poster in the basement.
So then Evil Dead 2.
And that's in there. I heard that was in there because he's like, oh, if he's like, fun pokingly, but like, oh, if you thought Hills Have Eyes was scary, this is what's really scary.
Right.
Then the next one is that, Nancy's watching Evil Dead and fucking falling asleep. Like, oh yeah, you think you're scary. That movie's putting me to sleep.
Yep, no shit. And
then Evil Dead 2, you got the claw sticking out.
Yep, which is tough to see. I mean, you can see it on the Blu-ray, but you gotta look.
You can see. Yeah. You have to look for the basement. You can see it pretty well in the shed.
Yeah.
Is that the same glove? Just taking a trip, or are there multiple Kruger gloves hanging around the shack?
I don't know, but yeah, in the shack or in the shed, because it's hanging right above the door.
So the work shed.
I'll just cut in the words "work shed" over my mouth being closed.
Just work shed.
Work shed. That's how you do it. You fake shit.
If you just had a small or a severed head just stuck on your hand, you could just flail that around.
Right to the camera.
Work shed.
Work shed. Yeah, those deaths are tough to explain.
If you were given the unfortunate task of being the Springwood County coroner.
Yeah, that would not would not work very well.
I feel like that's definitely a dude who has a lot of fucking PTSD.
Yeah, he's just one guy. He's
just one guy. Which, if you look at a deleted scene that has an image that was released, it's that same guy that was the coroner in the fourth movie, or not the coroner, but he was the guy in the back of the ambulance. That was going to give Dan the sedative.
Why didn't you say so? Or whatever he says. Yeah.
Said something in the first place.
Said something in the first place. That's what it is.
What? He's allergic, okay?
Nailed it.
What the fuck was up with the neon lighting in the back of that ambulance? I wondered that for years too.
Just rope lights.
Yeah. Like, is that Brendan Fletcher's brother's ambulance? Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, no shit. It's got like
working as an ambulance driver first.
It's got like a barbarian fucking airbrushed on the side of the ambulance.
In an EMT suit, like a sleeveless EMT suit. And Conan the Barbarian, here to give you, I have to give you CPR. Come on, I'm looking for a heartbeat.
Do it. Do it now. Oh, shit.
Get to the county hospital.
Go. Do you have any other coroner reports that stuck out in your mind?
Well, we already got,
We
we already, that's Johnny Depp's.
Yeah.
That was on there. The wife suggested, well, we already talked about Sleepwalkers too.
with the fucking corn on the cob.
Yeah.
You got to be a strong motherfucker to kill somebody with a corn on the cob, dude.
Or it's the most like stiff corn on the cob on Earth. You definitely didn't cook that shit before you stuck it in someone's head.
Yeah, you didn't cook it long enough because it's not soft enough. You're serving these people terrible corn on the cob.
There's some that's always like that. I can't watch. I have to almost do this. Watching it in the movie is Children of the Corn. I think it's 2. Is it 2 that Children of the Corn 2 where they're the kid? That's the final sacrifice. I'm probably thinking of Urban Harvest where the kids growing the corn in like the Chicago suburb.
Yeah.
And the dude just picks that shit off the branch and starts eating it.
Yeah.
Just eating that corn straight. Is like, no, you gotta eat that shit.
You do.
You can't just grab that and start eating it. You will not have teeth anymore. Just breaking all your teeth off. Ugh. Yeah, I can't watch it. Oh God, he's gonna be a gummer for the rest of his life. But the wife did suggest for another coroner's report, not as crazy as the one, but she was like, "What if he did the bathtub kill from I Spit on Your Grave?"
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Well, you see, he got his penis severed here and bled to death in the bathroom. Not sure how that happens. Like the angry...
Like, do you think the water is still in the tub, or you think like the water was draining and like the severed penis is blocking the drain?
Oh, it's getting all waterlogged and it just
it's like
a bratwurst, discolored and gray and sick.
I don't know which is worse to walk into. Like you're walking to Johnny Depp's bedroom and just see blood everywhere, or you have to walk into this bathroom and go, "Oh, good Lord, I think I need to put on an extra pair of rubber gloves." It looks like
there's like a blue. He's all blue, curled up in the fucking corner with his dick cut off. It's like just step over him to use the bathroom. Yep.
That's the coroners joking with themselves, going, "Man, I need to take a piss." They're like, "Oh, what's upstairs, Phil? Just watch your step." Ah.
Hey yo.
They're just downstairs, like, wait for it.
God damn it!
And then someone passes someone a $2 and like, told you.
that's
that
us.
boy.
If we'd be fucking, what is it? Not Bert and Ernie, Tom and Jerry from fucking Return of the Living Dead.
Let me borrow your stethoscope. I don't get anything. You getting anything?
What are you saying?
You saying we're dead?
Look, obviously I didn't mean you were dead. Dead people don't move around and talk.
I've heard the rumor that they did not mean for that to match like that, and I can't believe that Tom and Jerry and a Bert and Ernie.
Right. Well, when you watch the More Brains, they're like, well, we had Bert and Ernie, and we needed names. Don't they say something like that? So they thought, well, we'll just be Tom and Jerry, because they were originally just Paramedic 1 and 2. They're like, no, give us names. And they like those two guys were like buddies or whatever, and they hung out and like rehearsed how to have that like rapport with each other, and it's
temperature.
fantastic. Room temperature.
I know I remember that being a thing over who got to say that. Like, he got to say that line. I wanted to say it. That was a cool line. Temperature 75 degrees. Well, what's that? Room temperature. Technically, you're not alive.
Except, what is it? Except something. So we don't know what it means.
I was like, yeah, but you're conscious.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So it's a mystery. It's a mystery to me.
Well, I have my drink out of my smoke dope, have premarital sex, and get slaughtered koozie.
Being October 30th, I'm more appropriately drinking from my H2, and not the bad H2, but the good H2.
The bad H2.
That's the bad H2.
We don't talk about the bad H2.
Which I guess probably in what, a couple, maybe a year or two, we'll have another H2.
How does this work? This is the most.
Again, that's a choose your own adventure story, and I saw somewhere that we're looking. That's, of course, we're fitting right in with all that money we want to shed out for Shout Factories in January. That's when I heard Halloween is going to be dropping. Is like January 9th or 15th.
There's
the
a
first
pre-order.
or second.
There's a pre-order up on Amazon already. Someone shared it on one of the horror Facebooks, and I think it's the UK Blu-ray, but it's region free. So I might find that link and pre-order that motherfucker next payday, just because.
I'll wait because
I'll wait for video.
Yeah. I'll rent it from Blockbuster when it comes out. I still got my card there. I don't have any outstanding fines.
You got to
find. I did close down Hollywood Video with still like a $22 fine. And then I'm like, well, I'm never paying that. And eventually they went out of business, and I consider that a win.
That's an outstanding debt. It's probably just accumulating. You'll be like 85, and you'll owe them like $42 million from some fucking shit you didn't return.
Well, if I recall, it was like 3 movies, and I think my sister took them because she was like going out. So we're like, can you return these you return some videotapes?
you beat me to it. I was gonna say it, and then I saw the light bulb click on. It's like, damn it.
She was gonna return the tapes, and she took it to Blockbuster as opposed to Hollywood Video.
Oh.
So, but they eventually, I don't know if Blockbuster called them up and was like, hey, we got your tapes, we'll send them over to you.
We got your tapes, dude.
But they never told us to go back to rent something again from Hollywood Video. And they're like, oh, yeah, you had some tapes get returned to the wrong store. So you owe us $22 in late fees. And I was like, well, I don't have that money on me. I was like, can I pay it? They're like, can you pay a little bit of it? So I paid them like $1 off because I just had enough to rent whatever I was renting that day. They're like, yeah, I'll get you guys back next time I come in. And I was like, I'm never going back to Hollywood Video.
Dude, when you
take that shit right over to Blockbuster and be like, you can cut my card up for a free rental, right? If I like cut my ties with another company, I was like, cut this one up. I'm not going back.
Nice. I think when you visit, we should make a trip to Lincoln and go to that old school video and go see Mike Reeb, go see all those guys and check that place out.
I know Regina wants to hook up with Megan, and they were talking about going and like visiting T-Bird.
Yeah. So that'd be Omaha, and then we'll go to Lincoln. We'll check that out. Something like that.
Let's wait for them to come back, and all right, now we're leaving town.
Yeah. See you later. Catch you later, Bill and Ted. 69 dudes.
Whoa. That or that place that we went to where you find all those Fangorias. That place looks like
Canesville.
Where you just need to put on a miner's helmet and a pair of rubber gloves and just go through stacks of shit.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot of cool stuff, but it's It's a rough time, but they got a lot of cool shit.
They do. That one you just need to bring a sack lunch with you to go through stuff there.
Yep, just stay there all day.
Like, where you guys at? Like, we're still at the same store. I'm like, you guys have been there 7 hours. Like, yeah, we're not even half through the building yet.
We're chipping away, man.
Ugh. So 2 shopping carts full of Fangorias and posters.
That's where I found that fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 cardboard video display. They got a lot of stuff hidden in rooms that I never even took you in. There's like an upstairs, all kinds of crazy shit in that place. I love that place.
That's what I would want to find is a good cardboard cutout or standee. I need to have one of those down here in the basement area.
You definitely need one.
Have you hung your poster up yet? Your new?
I have not. It's still in the tube. Also, they gave us the Predator poster. So I have a Predator poster. But I need more frames because I have to re-hang up one of the Friday the 13ths. The frame broke. It fell down and cracked. So I got to get a new one for that. I think I need like 3 or 4 poster frames. And that's like $15 a piece or whatever, you know. So it's like poster frame or Maximum Overdrive on Blu-ray. Maximum Overdrive. So
that poster will still be there. That frame's not going nowhere. Maximum Overdrive will go somewhere.
Yep, that's true. Especially at this store. Like, they get new movies, they leave them there for like 3 days, and then they're just gone. It's a horrible store.
Oh shit! Every store is getting that way. Best Buy here, where I'm at, has 1 row for movies, and that is it. And when those things sell out, they do not restock them.
Best Buy is dead. It's not.
I know. I used to buy some really obscure shit from Best Buy. They used to have a good selection of strange movies. I spit on your grave from Best Buy.
But
you cannot do that now for nothing.
Best Buy back then, you know, like 2000 to like, I don't know, 2009, something like that. They had all that Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay owned the rights to all that stuff and was putting hundreds of movies out. Weird shit like, you know, that Sleepaway Camp box set, survival kit, all kinds of cool shit. And now people buy a fucking piece of cardboard with a digital code on it because they're psychopaths.
They don't have. It's children that are doing that now. They don't have the ties to things like we do. You know how old people get so attached to things.
Yeah. I don't understand the digital media thing, you know. You can't pick that up. You can't cut that plastic, pop that disc out. Or that, you know, slide that cassette out. Whatever. Like, I'm like a junkie, you know, like I gotta have it. When I see a new movie, you're like, oh man, like you're gonna read the spine, you're gonna look at that cover art, flip it over, and read every fucking thing, you know, like it's important. I don't understand being like, click, digital code. Now I can watch this on my fucking tablet. That cinema is not meant to be experienced in 7 inches at a time, you know, like.
No, but their appeal is they can watch it anywhere or whatever they're doing, which, I mean, I can get the appeal, but I'm also, I have Nightmare on Elm Street on VHS. I have, I think, 2 or 3 copies in DVD form. I have 2 copies in Blu-ray form. And I also bought them digitally, so I have the first 3 Elm Streets stored on my phone, so I can watch them even there. Well, but it's a bonus thing for me. But they didn't live with the movie video store era of like you had to go to Netflix the building.
Yeah, Netflix the building. Yeah,
and pick out what you're gonna watch. And like, all right, this is $3. I'm gonna gamble on it, and then I got to bring this sucker back.
Yeah, and it was never like 3 flat. It was always like $3.17. You know, so you didn't have enough change to get a soda. So you like.
No, it was the ultimate Friday night for me is when we were allowed to go and rent a variation of 3, where we could rent 2 movies and a game, or 2 games and a movie.
Yep.
Normally, at least back then, it was probably 2 games and a movie. It's like, all right, we're going to play a game, and we get tired with it. All right, we're going to play the other game now. And I was like, all right, time for bed. I was like, all right, time to pop the movie in. Yep. 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'll watch the movie. And that was a Friday night, man. That was a big Friday night for me.
Yeah, and it was always like an event to either get like a pizza or like zip through McDonald's and get like a burger and fries. Like I just have that. I have like whenever it's time to sit down, dim the lights, and watch a movie, like it's still like an event for me. Like I'll go downstairs and pick a movie, spend an hour picking a movie, get that movie, and be like, okay, now I need a drink, I need a snack, and like I don't want to be fucking bothered 9 times out of 10 unless it's a movie that's I've seen 40 million times. I'm not gonna fuck with my phone. I'm gonna immerse myself in this. But if it's background noise, like if we're all hanging out shooting the shit, that's different. But
yeah, anything goes in.
But it should be an experience, and I think that that's something that kids don't understand nowadays. Like, no. I can almost remember every single movie I've ever seen in theaters because it was such a big deal. Even when I became a grown-up, like, and was on my own doing my own shit, and I'd be like, well, it's Friday, I'm gonna go to the city and see a movie, save the ticket stub, you know.
For a long time I had a big pile of my ticket stubs still, and then, well, I'm like barely visible anymore. They're all faded and old. Yeah. But I used to see a bunch of weird shit. Like, perfect example. You're single, you have no fucking expenses. I would see some weird shit in the theater, like fucking Master of Disguise. I went to the theater to see Master of Disguise.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that movie.
And yeah, and now with movie, and I was having the discussion with Regina the other day because we don't go to the theater hardly ever, and I wanted to go see Halloween in a big screen, like a big screen. So for us to get tickets, it was about $30.
Yeah, it's an event. It's a fucking date. It's a thing. Like,
but she likes to pinch pennies where she can. So she was like, "Why are these tickets? I mean, I get it's a big screen, and and it's reserved seating, and the seats are fantastic and everything. But why are the price so high?" I'm like, well, I was like, everyone does the wait for Netflix shit, or fucking watching someone in a theater bootlegging it.
I will kill them all. That's like, and that's another thing too, like with just the short attention span that people have that drives me nuts. It's like you spend an hour on Netflix going through and you find something, right? Let's say you find something, and I see my kids do it all the time. Pick something and they're not invested, you know? It's on 2 minutes and they're like, nope, and they'll shut it off, or they'll leave it playing and go do whatever. You know, they're young age, 10 or 11 and 9, but still, like, when I was a 9-year-old kid and I rented a movie, you're invested. Like, this, it could be absolute garbage, but I spent $3 on this, and I'm going home and I am sitting through this fucking thing. Like, this is my evening. I have decided my fate. You know, like, and you see kids just throw something on, and if it doesn't catch them, shut it off.
Move on.
Yeah, move on. What's next? Like,
yeah, I probably can count on one hand the amount of movies that my children have picked out and sat through the whole thing without any stimuli from something else.
Right.
And I was flabbergasted when I was like, I'm going to try Ready Player One with my youngest. And I was like, that's a 2-hour movie. I was like, I don't think she's going to be invested all the way through, because I think she has about an hour,
right,
at most. But she sat through that whole movie, and I was shocked how she sat through it. And she actually kind of dug it.
So did
And I was,
both of our kids really did the same thing. They didn't move. And Tyson has watched it multiple times now, so I know I have to pick it up. Like, you let me borrow it, and he... It's almost to the point where I'm like, I don't want to watch that again, dude. Like, go upstairs and watch that.
I've created a monster.
Yeah, I mean, he loves it, and he's obsessed with the Easter eggs, man. Like, he was YouTubing stuff, looking up Easter eggs, and
Oh gosh,
yeah,
I did that one.
He's in.
20-minute video, 20 plus minutes on like 172 Easter eggs that they've seen in there. That's where I was like, oh, there's Christine. There's a Jack Slater 3 poster on the marquee. That has to be like the most fun movie for someone like us if we got to work on it. Just to put all of our weird shit in the background and be like, look at that.
The Jack Slater one. The Jack Slater one kills me, dude. Like, nobody cares about that movie. Nobody likes Last Action Hero except me and you. I mean, like, I don't know anybody who is like, you know what's a fucking sweet Schwarzenegger movie? That one with the magic ticket. Like, they made fun of it on The Simpsons. You know, magic ticket my ass.
I work with a dude in his 20s, and it's been a variation of him asking of like, yeah, what was the deal with Schwarzenegger? Like, why was he such, like, not like being like a dick, but like legitimately asking, like, so what's the deal? Why was he such a thing? And I was like, he's just
Mr. Universe. He is the action star.
Yeah, that's the explanation I could get. I best I could give him was like, he was just the action guy. You wanted the action blockbuster. Him.
Come on. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Wow.
But, well, that's how the difference in the age gap that we're falling into now is they just don't know about some of that stuff. And I get asked, like, so how was that a thing? I was like, he was huge. And these, believe it or not, when some of them came out, they weren't funny. Like how they're funny now. Like, then Commando was a fucking action movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's still an action movie, but that movie is hysterical to watch.
That's true. It is fucking comedy gold.
And that's gosh. That's one of the best ways to do comedy is when you're playing it absolutely straight.
Yeah, and see, I think that's what like later Schwarzenegger stuff, like now that he's back, like The Last Stand. The Last Stand does that really well, and nobody gives that movie any credit. It kind of like came and went, and it's in like the top 5 best Schwarzenegger performances of all time. He kills it in that movie. That movie's funny, but it's also played very straight. All of his stuff, anyway. I mean, he's got funny people around him. But
yeah, I feel all movies are like that now. Though, there's hardly any movie, even like as big as a production, that they make it out like it's coming out. I don't feel like anything sticks around really like it used to.
Well,
like, I don't feel like there's not a blockbuster of the summer. There's at least like 22 blockbusters of the summer.
They really try, like, just shitting out these big CGI action fest things. Well, but I mean, we have Dwayne Johnson doing the Schwarzenegger thing now, and he's the closest thing to Schwarzenegger we have for this generation, and he's handling business.
Short of Southland Tales, I have not seen a bad movie The Rock is in.
Yeah, he's a fun dude who
I'd love to see Skyscraper. I know that just came in, and I think he's playing like it's essentially Die Hard with The Rock, and he has one leg.
I didn't know he only had one leg, but
I think he has a prosthetic leg in that movie.
I'll watch it, dude. I mean,
I'll see it. I was like, I have no problem with this. It looks like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it feels like a throwback for me.
He killed it in Jumanji, that's for sure.
I still have not seen that yet. I don't know. I do.
I gave you the digital code. Here we are praising having physical media, but I gave you the digital code. So
That's only because I just got into having digital codes, and it's just for. And I only have digital codes because I bought Blu-rays that came with digital codes on them.
right.
So essentially, I'm just getting rid of the extra papers that are inside of my DVD and Blu-ray sleeves.
That's how we're justifying it. We just have a digital library.
I have a short digital library, yes, and it's just the handful of Blu-rays that I have that came with digital codes. And I was like, I got some of them to work. I was like, if you're not using any of them, I'll throw them on mine. So gave me Jumanji, the Three Billboards movie.
That is a stellar movie. Like,
I still need to get to that one, just because I've not had any like spots where I've been like, all right, we're gonna watch this.
It's a slow burn. It's a
2-hour plus movie too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like depressing, but like awesome at the same time. I don't know how to explain that movie, dude. A lot of people hated it, but I think it was fucking solid. So I say check it out when you got like not this, not today or tomorrow. Those are important days, but we'll watch it when you got a couple hours to yourself of a morning or something.
Tomorrow's the big day.
Yeah, the big giveaway
at 9, which this normally I do a variation of a good mixture of different movies for Halloween. I'm just doing movies all day and as late as I can stay up that night. And this is the first year, maybe because it's the 40th anniversary, and maybe it's just because it's Michael Myers has hit big this year, but I'm going to try to burn through the whole franchise.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm starting as soon as I wake up tomorrow. Fire
and we'll
on
see,
part
we'll
1.
see who's farthest.
I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it all the way. I can do it.
The hardest thing, though, is going to be those last 2 movies. The last 2 are the most, not watchable of the set. And it's going to be I'm going to have to try to finish with those 2.
And yeah, trying to stay awake. Because you got to figure. Just say 2 hours a pop. Let's say you start at 7 in the morning. 7, 9, 11.
I'll start at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
9 a.m. I'll start because that's when I'll get back from dropping the kiddos off at school. And I'll be able to go from 9 till about 5 or so, and that's where we're gonna trick or treat.
Yep. Yeah, us as well. So we'll do that.
About 2 hours. I'll get about 2 hours for that, and then come back, and then I'm gonna have my dummies and stuff set outside, and have the displays and everything going, and the candy bowl ready, and then I'll continue the marathon and see if I can get through the set. If I get through the set, my bonus movie will be Tales of Halloween.
You ain't making it. Dude, I mean, it's an unlofty goal. 8.
That's why it's a bonus round.
8 original movies. Fucking 2 Rob Zombie movies. 9. 10.
Yeah,
that's 10 movies. That's 20 fucking hours of cinema. And then you want to throw another hour and a half on top of that motherfucker. That is hardcore.
I don't intend to make that. That's why I said that. Round.
If I make it to Resurrection, I'll be happy. I won't be happy watching it.
I'll be happy.
The movies. Oh, who disturbed me while I'm watching my Watch Chung Lee?
His one sideburn or strap bothers me more than anything.
When he does this thing, when he's like, "That's what I'm talking about." When he bites his fucking lip when he hears her scream. It drives me fucking insane. I remember being in theaters and being like, why? Why are you biting your lip? Because it was like 20 feet wide. Oh, yeah. I'm like, quit. You fuck. Now when you watch it, you saw it in theaters, right? You saw Resurrection in theaters?
I did.
Just remember how big. Well, watch it in your basement and just see how big his fucking head is in that frame. Biting his fucking... You go, boy. That's a nice angle, Freddy. Or whatever it is.
That one has spots just like the new movie. Just in the sense of 2002. The ability to run a webcam show
Yeah, no
that
shit.
looked, that looked like how these look today
Yeah.
in 2002, of what surely can't be a good Wi-Fi connection.
It was no Wi-Fi. It was all fucking dial up, stretched through the fucking house.
Oh, that'd be great. Fucking Michael looking over fucking cords going all over his house.
They kill him with a mixer. They drop a fucking microphone mixer and a shitty little shelf on him. Or no, that she gets that dropped on her, and then they electrocute him with all the whatever.
So
God,
it's
that's
not.
a bad movie, dude. It is bad.
And I was talking with somebody that thought in the new movie that podcasters were going to date that movie too bit, and I was like, I don't think it's going to date it any more than the first movie when you had to melt butter on a stove.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, that's fine.
That dates that movie there. What is unbelievable to me is how in the hell two podcasters have $3,000 of willy nilly money to throw around on
Yeah.
top of
Well,
surely travel expenses.
maybe their podcast has a lot of followers. Maybe they're like the last podcast on the left. Maybe they make a decent living. Remember they're award-winning podcasters. So, I mean, you can't just win an award, right? I don't know. So, I don't know how it works. You can't just
my
be.
buddy Greg said they must have a hell of a Patreon. We'll have $3,000 in cash just to spend on top of travel and gas, food. Because they sure didn't sound like they were from Illinois.
No, they definitely did not. They were British, right? Fucking. I won't do the accent. I know you hate the accent.
Yeah. And gosh, I had something else for the new Halloween movie that I was thinking of the other day. The British accent threw me off.
My bad. I only have one real complaint about that. Well, two, I guess.
Oh, how they wrote off the boyfriend. They just dropped that storyline with the drunken boyfriend that throws what's her name, Allison?
Yeah.
Allison's phone into the
Cheese dip.
bowl. Is it cheese dip or
It looks like cheese dip. That's what I was gonna say. One, every movie looks for like a way to dispose of communication.
Technology.
Yeah, communication. So like, someone's gonna break the phone or whatever. They threw it in cheese dip or whatever it is. It's not a liquid. It's like it's a food, and you can still hear it. You can still hear it ringing. So, which makes me think that taking it out and wiping it off, I mean, it's gonna smell like cheese or whatever, but it's still gonna work. Like if it was you or me, if it was you or me, and our kids grabbed our phones and threw it into a bowl of cheese dip, we'd be like, we're not just gonna walk away from it and be like, well, that fucking phone's
At that.
yep. Hey, don't have a phone. Like you're gonna be like, shit, that's a fucking iPhone. Try to clean that fucker off.
That's
Something.
$1,000 phone, man.
Yeah, like come on now. So
I'm signed to another 2-year contract with this damn thing. Better clean it up. Clean it up.
So that bothered me a little, and then just that girl refers to Jamie Lee Curtis as grandmother. Grandmother. Just the way that she says it bothers me a little bit.
Yeah,
but
some are weird. Like I refer to my mom as mother, and that stuck on. All my friends are like, "Hey, how's mother doing?" Like mother doing fine.
Well, it's an Elm Street callback. You're totally subconsciously doing an Elm Street callback.
I guess I never thought about it that way. I don't know where that started or why it started. It just did.
It's Elm Street, dude. Everything you do is Elm Street. That's, but I don't like the grandmother. being said, but I feel like it was like a reference to like Little Red Riding Hood. Like she's going to grandmother's house, and then she gets to grandmother's house and like the big bad wolf is already there type of deal, which she said grandmother once, like, have you talked to grandmother? And I was like, that's a Little Red Riding Hood reference. But then she just kept saying grandmother, and I'm like, now I'm getting annoyed. I don't, I don't know. But I mean, I love the movie, so I'm definitely not shitting on it. It's got my money a couple of times, so.
We're just nitpicking little
Yeah.
things.
I just start,
We'll do that with anything.
Yeah, I had to overanalyze it because, when I did the review, I had just came from the theaters, and I was like, this is the greatest fucking thing of all time. And now, seeing it more times, it's like, it's fantastic. But there are things about it that bother me a little bit. But not say nearly as much as like a Resurrection or some of the terrible things that happen in H2O or 5.
I have no problems with 5. I'm in the minority of I really like Tina's character from part 5.
I don't hate her, but I'm also in the minority of the Halloween franchise because I like Halloween 6 a lot.
I don't mind 6.
I think
I really like.
He's
I know we're champions of part 4.
Yeah. I'll defend part 4 till my dying day, man. That mask is trash, but that movie is. I think Megan likes that one a lot too because of the thumb and the forehead. That's like she remembers that. Yeah, she remembers that above all else from that movie. Like that made the impression on her. So.
That was my first Halloween, was part 4, which was also my first Elm Street, was part 4.
I love Elm Street 4.
And my first Friday the 13th was part 7. Then part 8, which is why I love 7 and 8 so much.
Yeah.
But what was your first Elm Street?
3. Elm Street. My first Elm Street was 3, and that my dad.
Did you? You had to start at the top.
My dad rented Ernest Goes to Jail, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and the Ghostbusters Nintendo game. I remember it vividly, and my dad dubbed them onto the same tape. And I remember being so freaked out with the mirrors. I can because the hallway where those mirrors are is like a red wallpaper. When I was a kid, we had red felt wallpaper, and we had a bunch of round mirrors in our living room. So I'm like, that's pretty freaky. And so
you're walking this through the hallway, making you don't get grabbed from the mirrors.
Draw a little tear under one of my eyes.
No, fuck that. Old Rodney Eastman.
And my first Friday was part 4 that I can remember. I can remember watching part 4, having a VHS of that my dad bought from some video store. So it had like a big black clamshell. Didn't even have the cover art. And I remember it had like green stickers on it for the letters. And the letters were white on these green stickers. Friday the 13th, 4. And I'm like, yes. And I used to like take it to my room and watch it on like a little tiny TV all the time. I can't remember the first Halloween I saw. If I had to guess, I'd say the first one, because I feel like I got that for Christmas when I was like 9 years old, 10 years old, somewhere around there. And I remember seeing it. And the first chainsaw that I ever saw was the first one, because I bought it from the grocery store. It had that cool media cover art where it's like with the eyes behind him. Have you ever seen that artwork? It's fucking beautiful. And I remember like carrying that home, and then I would sit and try to draw that cover art over, but I can't draw for shit. So
practice. Gosh, I I think part 3 was the first Texas Chainsaw I was aware of.
Wow.
Like I think I got shown glimpses of the first one. I remember while like my sister was watching parts of the first one, and I remember it was a scene where Sally's going back into the gas station, and I was like, "Look, there's like human bodies cooking on the grill back there." But the first one I think that I watched was part 3, because that was the mainstream dropped.
That's a good introductory Texas Chainsaw for a kid. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, when you're young and you watch the first one, it doesn't have the impact. It doesn't really have. I don't know. Like my kids watched the first Texas Chainsaw and they thought it was funny. Like they don't, because they don't grasp tone. You know, they don't understand dread and just like the feeling of gross. Ugh. And like 2 is like a comic book. 2 is fucking wild. Everybody's on cocaine.
You boys never should have been doing this.
Where's that old fuck you, Charlie?
Really burned my biscuit on that one.
Yeah, and it definitely 3 is good because there's not nudity. I mean, there's not really nudity in any of the Texas Chainsaws, but
yeah, I don't think there's any.
In 4, that girl flashes her boobs.
Yeah.
When they throw the brick through the window, or that's it. That's it. But 3 is fun because Leatherface is like imposing, and it's gory, but like not, which is crazy because even the unrated cut, like a bunch of that shit got cut out, but I think it's fine. This is parenting, parenting 101. I think it's fine for kids to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Well, ours, yeah, like the run of the mill children, yeah, it'd be traumatizing. But ours, I mean, like mine, I said, she was really got into watching. She wanted to see it, and so we all sat down as a thing after I screened it first. I'm like, yeah, we'll watch it. And we threw it on and watched it and got done. And I could tell she was bothered by some parts. I was like, well, what bothered you? And she was bothered by when Pennywise, when they're showing it in the projector in the garage. Mm-hmm. And he suddenly is like
boom,
fucking
boom, boom, boom.
Size of a house.
Yeah.
And she was just like, he was just so big. I was like, that's just green screen, sweetheart. We can look. And I just went through YouTube. I was like, look at all this weird shit you can do with green screen. I was like, he's just. And then showed what he normally looks like. I was like, this is all a magic trick, all just movie magic. I was like, he's not real. It's all make believe. That's all these things are, is just make believe.
Yeah.
And it took all that power out of it. So now she's already in that spot where we are, like bragging to other children how she watches it with no problem at all. And they're just like, whoa.
I take back every bit of power I ever gave you.
Yeah, 9 years old, she's already like, you're shit.
Yep, exactly. That's important to raise them that way, because that's how we grew up. You know, you get your like badge of honor from like renting prom night, them letting you rent prom night, and you going home and being like, yeah, I handled that. You know, like that's like your shit. Like, I'm fucking metal, dude. All these other kids are fucking like running home to watch Power Rangers or whatever, and you're like, TV Guide says Night of the Living Dead is going to be on. So I'm going to set my VCR and record Night of the Living Dead.
It's how hardcore of a movie you can watch and then still sleep comfortably at night without being out. And yeah, I got that too. Like, it's easier now than I think it was for my parents to physically show me, like, look, this is what the dude looks like. None of this is real. I just had to go by what they said. Like, they're like, no, it's not real. But having like actual things to show, to be like, look, see, like, because Tori was freaked out by Fred Krueger initially when she was young, and then Never Sleep Again came out. I was like, look, I was like, I know you hate documentaries because I use that as a punishment for you. I was like, look at some of these scenes. I was like, look at all this. Like, where his arms are really long. I was like, look, you can see the fucking fishing wire
Yep.
pulling those arms up. Like, and this is how he looks. This is how long the makeup takes to put on. And here's him pulling the makeup off because he's tired of wearing it all day. And it just takes all that fear out of it, and they're able to just. I mean, they went to a haunted house for school, and they're able to enjoy it like how an adult would enjoy it. Like, they don't come out traumatized by it. They're like, yeah, it was scary. Nice. And then they left it there.
Yep.
They didn't come home with no problems or like we can't sleep, or they have never had like nightmares where something they watched has affected how they sleep or anything. They've just been stone cold.
Just like us. Damn it. I suppose I should get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there, and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us?
Well, you can watch them. I can't. I'm grounded this weekend. Threw my grandma down a flight of stairs.
You want me to shut up? Fine. I'll shut up.
I'm out. See you later, buddy.